Greetings, humans. It's me, Bob Harris, senior editor of FootballDiehards.com. It's time for our Week 9 injury review, preview, update, overview thing. Something I like to do every Saturday, and we provide you so you have a good feel for the game time decisions that are coming your way on Sunday, and we'll do them in chronological order as always, so you have an idea of what kind of fallback plans you might need to have in place. We'll start out by reminding you the Falcons, Bengals, Rams, and Saints are all on bye. Get them out of your lineup. T.Y. Hilton's not going to play this week. Cam Newton, of course, out seeing a foot specialist. Not a good sign, that. And Josh Gordon has been claimed off waivers by the Seahawks. No impact on this week's game, but something to watch for next week. And great game on Thursday night. A lot of offense was had. Jimmy Garoppolo threw 4 touchdown passes. Emmanuel Sanders, George Kittle, all playing major roles in that. On the other side of the football, Kenyon Drake was impressive at his first game out. No major injury issues coming out of that game. David Johnson could be ready for the next game. Seems like Chase Edmonds, the running back for Arizona, will not be ready for the next game, so it may be a Johnson-Drake split. On the other side of the ball, George Kittle had his MRI on his knee, and he is fine. Quan Alexander, though, done for the year, the linebacker with a torn pectoral muscle. So let's get into this week's games. We'll start out. We have a London game, an early kickoff, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, so that means a 7 a.m. inactive announcement. Dede Westbrook listed as questionable in this game with the lingering shoulder and neck issues he's been working through. He's played through them the last 2 weeks with varying degrees of success, right? 2 weeks ago, had a great game against the Bengals. Last week, not that impressive, but his status will be determined in advance of kickoff. Chris Conley would pick up the pace if Westbrook can't go in London. A big game for Gardner Minshew as well, as it may determine whether he holds on to the starting job. Nick Foles is returning to work and could be eligible to return the following week. So the early afternoon kickoffs for Sunday. The big story, Pat Mahomes listed as questionable. Not yet ruled out. We'll see if that happens throughout the day Saturday. On all these things, people, watch the main page of the site throughout the day after you check this video. Watch for any late-breaking updates that may have impacted the news I give you. So Pat Mahomes listed as questionable. Again, worked on a limited basis all this week. My guess is they hold him out another week. They're playing the Vikings at home. Adam Thielen on the other side of the ball is questionable. A true game time decision for him with the same hamstring injury that sidelined him last week. Seems like he's getting close, but this sounds like a true game time decision. Worked on a limited basis all week. On Mahomes, a lot of the observers out there are reporting that it'll be a next week. Maybe they're targeting next week for his return. Either way, Matt Moore will be continue to fill in and fared pretty well against the Packers, or reasonably well. So that'll be one you'll be watching in the early afternoon window. Worst news, T.Y. Hilton ruled out not just for tomorrow's game against the Steelers, but Frank Reich head coach said he'll miss 3 to 4 weeks with a calf injury. So T.Y. Hilton out, Zach Pascal, Chester Rogers, likely Paris Campbell move up in the rotation, and the tight ends will continue to play a prominent role, Jack Doyle, Eric Ebron, etc. On the other side of the ball, James Conner listed as doubtful. Expect him not to play. Benny Snell Jr. out for 2 to 3 weeks reportedly after having his meniscus trimmed, a minor procedure. Jalen Samuels, clear path to workload. Not the best matchup against the Colts, but boy, that workload for a guy coming in off the bench is a pretty good thing. Trey Edmonds will back him up. The Washington Redskins will travel to Buffalo. Case Keenum is out. That means Dwayne Haskins makes his first start. We'll find out if he's ready in a hostile environment against a tough defense. Chris Thompson, Vernon Davis also ruled out in that game. Adrian Peterson off the injury list. This will be an interesting game. See what Haskins. A lot of chatter that he hasn't mastered the playbook and the development has been slow. So we'll find out, won't we? Deshaun Jackson for the Eagles going up against the Chicago Bears in Philadelphia. Jackson hasn't played since week 2 with the abdominal tear he has. Sounds like he's going to give it a go. I don't know if he'll be up to full speed or they'll play a full role. They've really missed his ability to take the top off defenses. It's been an issue for the passing attack. They could really use him even if it's just as a decoy, and that'd be the concern in this game. Could be a run-heavy game, too. Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders starting to make a little hay. Taylor Gabriel and Trey Burton both listed as questionable shin and groin injuries. They were added on Friday to the injury report. Never a good sign, so I don't know how hard you were trying to force them into your lineup. Might not be a good week to do that. Although the Eagles secondary, very generous to all receivers. Allen Robinson may be a good play in this one. Of course, Cam Newton, as I mentioned, out against the Tennessee Titans. We'll see what the specialist said to him probably early next week, I suspect. So we'll watch for that. On the other side of the ball, Delaney Walker has been ruled out with the same ankle injury that's been an issue. He missed last week's game. Jonnu Smith seems like a pretty good play. It's a pretty tough matchup for Ryan Tannehill. I wonder if his big game role might be over, but still, Jonnu Smith is a factor. The New York Jets travel to Miami. Demaryius Thomas, Chris Herndon, both listed as questionable. Adam Gase said on Friday he didn't really expect Herndon to be back this week. He's been trying to come back from the suspension. He was eligible to return week 6, injured his hamstring the week before, getting ready to return, so that's been an issue. Ryan Griffin was very impressive last week. Griffin with 2 touchdown games, so wouldn't expect that every week, but we'll see if Herndon and Thomas get in. Thomas has been very heavily targeted. It's a great matchup for both teams, actually, so we'll see what happens in this game. Late afternoon kickoffs. Devontae Adams listed as questionable. Worked on a limited basis all week. Seems like he's trending towards being available and playing, so we'll be watching that one in the late afternoon window. Cameron Brate is listed as questionable for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Seattle. O.J. Howard already ruled out of that game. Trey Carson, the Detroit Lions travel to Oakland. Trey Carson, who got the start last week when we were all expecting Ty Johnson to get the start, turned up as questionable with a hamstring injury, added to the injury report on Thursday. Never a good sign when that happens, so that'll be one to watch in the 90 minutes leading up to kickoff. I'm not sure you needed to be forcing him into your lineup, but if you did, you might want to find a pivot. Maybe it's Ty Johnson. Maybe it's J.D. McKissick. Who knows? Denver Broncos host the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco's out, placed on season-ending IR. Brandon Allen will make his first NFL start. Drew Lock maybe start practicing week 11 in hopes of returning this year, so we'll see where that goes. Look for the rushing attack to play a prominent role against the Cleveland Browns in this one. Not sure what I'd expect from guys like Courtland Sutton, Deshaun Hamilton, Fred Brown at all. So we have that. Sunday night game, exciting game. New England Patriots are the toughest defense in the league against the Baltimore Ravens with the most phenomenal playmaking quarterback in the league. I know Patrick Mahomes is that, but I love Lamar Jackson's running ability. So no quarterback has run for 100 yards against Bill Belichick during his time in New England. Tim Tebow ran for 93, so it'll be an interesting game. For the Patriots, James White was added to the injury report on Friday with a toe injury. Not good when they're added on Friday. That'd be one to watch closely. Rex Burkhead, Julian Edelman, Ryan Izzo, Matt LaCosse, all listed as questionable. Foot, chest, concussion, knee, respectively. Izzo and LaCosse have missed a couple games with their injuries. Ben Watson's kind of moved into the frontline tight end role. Edelman's been playing through his issues since September. I'd expect him to play. Burkhead's been a little dicier. He has returned, but hasn't been that impressive. On the other side of the ball, Marquise Hollywood Brown, the rookie receiver, is expected to play. He's listed as questionable with the same ankle injury that sidelined him the last 2 games. John Harbaugh said on Friday that even though he was limited Wednesday and Thursday, didn't practice Friday, still John Harbaugh said they expect him to play. They're just managing the issue, and he's a hell of a playmaker. It would be great to have him back. Monday Night Football, looks like everyone's going to go. Sterling Shepard's still on the injury report. Mari Cooper and Michael Gallup as well for the Cowboys. All of them are working fully. Shepard has been cleared from the concussion protocol, so it looks like he'll return. So there you have it. That's the injury news of the day. Remember to hit the main page of the site. Check the late breaking news section throughout the day. The Patriots often make announcements in the middle of the day. The Packers often make announcements in the middle of the day. So that'll be something to watch for. Otherwise, we'll have all the inactives, and I'll have another round of, final outlooks for these guys early Sunday morning. So again, visit the main page of the site. Also early Sunday, you'll have Bobby Gomes, the former Millionaire Maker winner from DraftKings, and Kyle Dvorak doing a live pregame video, 9 a.m. Eastern time. So tune in for that. They'll do some roster tweaking, answer your questions, etc. In the meantime, we got tons of stuff up on the main page of the site. As always, in addition to the late breaking updates, we have Brad Cruz's latest Hit Start article, tons of video and audio, Gary Davenport's articles, my own articles, Justin Llanero, Kyle Dvorak chiming in on the DFS, as well as Bobby Gomes. So tons of content up for you now. Check it out. You can catch me on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio every weekday. The Football Diehards are on from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, except Thursday. We're only on from 7 to 8. Saturday night, you can listen to me on SiriusXM NFL Radio, the Football Diehards. Myself, Mike Dempsey, will be on 3 hours, 8 to 11 every Saturday night. Then catch me Sunday morning on the SiriusXM Fantasy Football pregame show with Jeff Manns from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. And be watching the site. We'll be adding updates in real time, have all the inactive news, any late breaking news of interest. So make sure you tune in, and good luck in week 9. We're heading down the back stretch of the season. It's winning time.